discussions about politics in Ghana and in Africa, I've heard people often suggest that leadership is the bane of Africa. We complain that the reason much of Africa is underdeveloped is because of poor and ineffective leadership. What we overlook in such complaints is that our leaders are people we ourselves vote for. They get to be leaders because we vote for them.
Since you love to read, you will be free forever.
Terry Mante is a great person to get content and deep revelation with both biblical insight and socio-economic thought.
Terry is someone who is very dedicated and committed.
Terry is an incisive author.
Nobody becomes successful by using their weaknesses, and we have to be conscious about using our strengths to mitigate the impact of our weaknesses on our lives. Leadership is a sense, it's a certain mindset, it's a certain understanding, a certain paradigm that you have, which translates into influence, into making an impact, into having a positive impact on the lives of other people.
Terry is a terrific writer.
Terry's books are not only relevant for the development of potential and capacity, they are also essential for the refinement of ethics and character.
Everybody needs a Terry Mante book. Get them from reputable online stores and libraries. Connect with us by phone, email, or social media.
Once upon a time in Israel, God was the president of the nation. He led the people out of slavery in Egypt, shepherded them through the wilderness, protected them against adversaries, provided their needs, ensured a fair and just society, and made them the envy of many nations. Nonetheless, the people eventually opted for and chose a human king over the divine rulership of God. Their request to God was, "Make us a king like all the other nations." They were warned that the new king was going to maltreat them and would not be as gracious as God has been. But they insisted and persisted, and they got what they wanted. So they got the new king. And let me read how the new king was introduced to them. And I'm going to read this intro to the new king from my book, When God Lost an Election: The Political Markets of Demand and Supply. I talk about the new king, and I relate his profile, his personality, with some of the contemporary issues of governance and politics in Ghana and in Africa. Let me read you the profile of the new king as provided in the Bible, 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1 and 2. This is how the Bible introduces us to Israel's first human king, the kind of king they chose over God. And it says, "There was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Zevi, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphia, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he had a choice son whose name was Saul. There was not a more handsome person than he among the children of Israel. From his shoulders upward, he was taller than any of the people." Unquote. So that's the introduction. A notable thing about the CV of Saul was that we have sufficient information about his tribal heritage, his family pedigree, and physical attributes. His CV, however, tells us nothing about his character leadership credentials, and work experience. There are many preachers who have said that God chose Saul to lead Israel. My view, however, is that God did not choose Saul. God selected Saul. God selected him, but he did not choose him. When the people requested for a king, they emphasized that they wanted a king who would lead them like all the other nations. In the other nations, the basis for crowning somebody a king had nothing to do with their character or competence, but with ethnic origin, family background, and physical characteristics. In monarchies around the world, in those days and even now in our modern times, the major requirement for becoming a king or a queen is to be born into the royal family or be married to someone in the royal family. So in selecting a king for them, God went strictly according to their request. Thus, Saul emerged as a response to the cry of the people. So let's relate this to our situation in Ghana and in Africa. The people who govern us in Africa are not people we import from other parts of the world. They are our own people. We get them from among our midst. We elect them from among the people. Once upon a time, when the continent reeled under colonialism, our people fought hard for independence and we got it. Since then, the same people have allowed some of us to lead us. Even in countries where the military or where there have been military dictatorships and other forms of authoritarianism, the regimes remain in power only for as long as the people let them. Anytime you complain about poor leadership in Africa, look into the mirror. Our leaders are our products. We choose them. They are the products of our choices, aspirations, complaints, and fears. They supply what we demand. If you can vote, or if your vote can be bought by a t-shirt and a few currency notes, then you are a big part of the leadership problem in Africa. If you defend the negative conduct of your candidate or party, then you are the problem of Africa. If a song or a slogan is enough to win your vote, then you should bow your head in shame. If you respond to people who criticize your candidates with insults and name calling instead of using superior arguments, then you are the reason why our leaders are not giving us the best. If you can be recruited to join a vigilante group to cause mayhem at political party or national events, then you are very cheap. If you vote for a leader simply because they are handsome, tall, fair-colored, then you are the cause of Africa's seeming leadership crisis. Africa does not have a leadership crisis. Africa has a people crisis. My pleasure hanging out with you today on talking about the leaders we choose to govern us in Africa. Before I go though, I would like to recommend for your reading pleasure this book, When God Lost an Election: The Political Market of Demand and Supply. This book is available globally on all well-known stores and libraries, and you can get them for wherever you are. So I encourage you to get the book, read it, and recommend for someone else. And let's change the African narrative together. This is Terry Mante. See you next time.
Since you love to read, you will be free forever.
Terry Mante is a great person to get content and deep revelation with both biblical insight and socio-economic thought.
Terry is someone who is very dedicated and committed.
Terry is an incisive author
Nobody becomes successful by using their weaknesses, and we have to be conscious about using our strengths to mitigate the impact of our weaknesses on our lives. Leadership is a sense, it's a certain mindset, it's a certain understanding, a certain paradigm that you have, which translates into influence, into making an impact, into having a positive impact on the lives of other people.
Terry is a terrific writer.
Terry's books are not only relevant for the development of potential and capacity, they are also essential for the refinement of ethics and character.
Everybody needs a Terry Monte book. Get them from reputable online stores and libraries. Connect with us by phone, email, or social media.